It's me, Capri. My mommy is the best. Super mom, Robin. She helps mommy get those smiles back. The giggles back. And the sparkle back. You wait for the show. Brush. Get ready for that super slippery and super strong.
Welcome to Healing for the Soul podcast, sponsored by Supermom Robin Stoltman, where every week I feature different guests to empower you to become the best version of yourself through different methods you may not have heard of or thought of. If you are ever looking for a virtual assistant, I highly recommend Sphere Rocket to delegate any business-related tasks like grow your social medias, book appointments, and much more that all businesses require, boosting your sales, productivity, and much more. The link to Sphere Rocket is at the bottom of this episode. This is season 6, episode number 43. And today I have my guest, Kathy Knowles, who is the CEO of Intuitive Strategies and creator of the Intuition Mastery Method. After 20 plus years as an HR executive in corporate aviation, she now helps professionals and entrepreneurs harness intuition, energetic intelligence, and higher self alignment to create clarity, purpose, and results that last. And today we are talking about energetic intelligence, the ENQ, the missing key in leadership and growth, a new way of engaging with energy, intuition, and presence. Thank you so much, Kathy, for being here with our audience.
Oh, thank you, Robin, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, so am I, because it's like when I came across like your profile, and then I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is exactly what like all the corporate, everybody is like missing. Just as a whole, I think a lot of people are missing that spirituality side of us, because we are very much spiritual, obviously. And yes, it does have to do like with Christianity, because Christianity, that's the relationship with Jesus. But at the same time, it's like, this is like spiritual. Like we're human, we're spiritual. We've got the other side that exists, and it's being missed.
Yes, it really is. It's yes, we're here to be human, and we're also here to really activate and understand our spirit, who we are, and what that looks like, right? So, so it's one of those things where we keep trying to ignore such a huge part of us. That fact, a bigger part of us than our humanness, right? We just keep trying to put it back. And it's not about that. It's about owning both sides of us. Yeah,
very much so. Because I know like that's the one thing that I was thinking about. It's like, I don't understand how people can just leave out like the spiritual side of us. Like it's kind of like if you were to just take your head off and you're expecting your body to operate.
Right. Yes, that's exactly it. Or really a little bit of the opposite. Take your heart out, leave your head on, right? And now you're running around thinking through everything. But the truth is, we feel first.
Yes.
Yeah, we feel first. And then as we're feeling it, we're processing it, and then it goes up to our head. So yeah, it's powerful. It's playful, it's powerful, it's magical, it is. Yeah.
Well, so how did you, so what were you doing in the corporate world? Because I guess I don't even know like the true definition of corporate. I just know that people like it's evil and all these other things that I'm hearing. And I'm like, I don't know if it's that bad, you know?
Well, I was pretty fortunate too. So throughout my career, I've always been very fortunate to have the opportunity, quite frankly, to work with amazing people, right? And at the end of my corporate career, I ended up working in corporate aviation. I worked in HR. Initially, when I started there, it was just me because we only had about 80 employees. And then as the organization grew, we got ourselves up to close to 250. So of course, by then I was the lead HR person. I was director of human resources. And then there were 3 people who I worked closely with that were on my team. And we did everything, right? Everything from the hiring aspect, really diving deep into the hiring, because the better team you have, just the better you are, the better the whole organization is. And just looking at all of it, performance, where are we, having deep conversations with the leadership team, being very open when it came to communication, because that's one of the places that is the main place where I find that corporations have a tendency to just, they don't do it. They don't do it. They don't honor their team. They don't communicate strong enough. There's not enough of the back and forth, right? The back and forth of really having real deep conversations, and it needs to be there. So that's what I did in corporate HR. And then in human resources. And I knew that I, pretty in tune. Like I just kind of knew I knew stuff, right? Like, there was one gentleman who I was talking to from out of state. He lived in like the northeastern area, like maybe Vermont or something like that. And I just knew, even though he did not have the experience, I knew that he was our person to hire to lead our retail store. And I went in and I talked to the CEO, the president, and I said, look, I know we're going to hire him. I know his skills are not there. I know that this sounds ridiculous, but I want to fly him into town, and I just want us to talk to him because I know he's our guy. And sure enough, we got him into town, and he was our guy, right? And he did magical things for the organization. So it was always a little intuitive, although I never labeled it that way. And then for me, my mother died when I was, she had leukemia when I was 39 years old, and she lived for 18 months. The doctors told her that she'd live for, 18 to 24 months. And at that 18-month mark, she passed away. And I just started going through so much. And my mother's brother, my uncle, and there was only the two of them at that time, he had passed away a year later, a year or two younger than my mom. And all of a sudden, I was taking a bath, and I was really sad, and I was crying, and I knew that my life had to change. And this was about a year and a half after my mother was gone. And I turned and I saw my mom and my uncle holding hands. And they were just like, with their heart, they were just doing this to me, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? And it was my mom and my uncle. And they were telling me not to worry, that everything's going to be okay. And I remember seeing things when I was little. Growing up, I grew up on a farm, and I was always climbing trees and hanging out down by the water and loving on animals and all of that. So I remember kind of seeing things when I was young, but I hadn't in years and years and years. And now I'm sitting here and I'm like 43 years old. My birthday's in September, and this was in January. And I'm seeing this. And then after that, it just, right? I found a perfect teacher. My mother came to me in the middle of the night in a dream where the room was completely white. But yet I knew that my husband was still sleeping next to me. So I opened my eye just a little bit, and it was still black. So I closed it real quick because I didn't want to lose whatever this was. She came in, and I saw her. She was kind of standing really strong. And then I saw a leaf from up north where I came from. I grew up in northern Indiana, outside of Chicago.
Yeah.
And then I saw a woman getting ready to have a baby. And I knew that was my sister-in-law. And she was going to have her first son. And just in putting it all together, I realized that, my mother was there in some way. And then before she left, she poked me really 3 times, and it was worse than like sticking your finger in a light socket. And the room was still dark, it was still white. And after she poked me those 3 times, she was gone. And I've had just so many miracles come, in different ways, in so many different ways. But those were my first two like real experiences with it, was my mother coming and my mother and uncle coming. And then I just, like, I was turned on full blast for saying, okay, what is this? What is this? And I didn't know anything. Like, I just didn't know anything. So like learning about intuition and all that, I was very blessed to find a very special teacher. And then I found a lot of other teachers, which, you know how, I don't know if you do this, but I just keep throwing things in, you know, oh, go try this.
Oh, yeah.
Try that. But I was very fortunate to find a wonderful teacher. And so that's how I started to play with intuition in corporate and intuition on my own. And so it was really, sometimes I run out of words. There's no word for it.
Well, yeah, I can understand that. That's how I feel about like when you have a baby. It's like, how do you explain? There's nothing.
No.
You can't.
No.
My husband, all he said was, it's something you have to experience.
Yeah.
There's no words.
There's no words. Yeah. Yeah. There's no words for the beauty of the gifts we receive.
Yeah, that's the amazing part. So that's like, I'm just listening to your story and I'm like, yeah, it's one of those things that like the intuition gets left out. And one person had told me before, like, intuition is God talking to us and prayer is us talking to God.
Yes.
And it's like, you get those like intuitive moments. Like I get them all the time. Like when you said about like for little girl, I'm like, yeah, I've always had that.
Yes.
Like my mom like could never figure out. She's like, just something like, you're not all there. And I'm like, no, there's different things that I would know. But the funny thing is that it's happened enough around, well, people in general, like when I've told them certain things, like my mom's a great example. I've prevented I don't know how many accidents because I'm like, I know something's going to happen. Then the last one, I'm like, nah, that ain't going to happen. It ended up happening when my husband ended up getting the van smashed. But it's like, I saw it for like 3 days before it happens. It's like 3, I don't know, like 3 is my number that I know that if I haven't acted on the first 2, the third one means you better act.
Yes. And it's crazy because for me a long time ago, it always used to be 3 times. Now it's 2. So if something happens twice now, I'm saying, okay, that's it. So I get it. I hear you. That's very cool.
Yeah, and it's like, I wish I knew about, like, I don't understand the numerology is what they call it. But I know that there's just something about that third time. You better already have done it the first 2 times that was told. Because the third time, I'm going to make you repeat the same mountain again. Because I've been catching this pattern. I'm like, there is that mountain again. I'm like, I got it. And then it takes a break. And then it comes right back around. And it's like.
And then it's kind of like, I cannot climb this anymore. I'm done.
Yes, because I'm tired of this damn mountain. It's like, just move already. So it's like, if I would have done it, and then it's like, I'm waiting for it to come back because it's like, okay, I didn't move the first 3 times it was told to me. Then I gotta wait. And the next time I recognize that same mountain, I was like, well, I should have moved a lot sooner the first time. Done it. It would have happened.
I hear you. It's true. Yeah, it's so true.
It's funny though, because it's like, that there's like something to it. Like, it's almost like you have to hit a certain age. It's kind of like, I've noticed like across the board, like 60 is like the magical age where all of a sudden people are like, why did I care about what people thought about me this whole time? The truth is nobody cared. I'm the only one that cared, thinking that they were caring about me.
Yeah, they didn't care because they were so wrapped up in themselves. I understand that. Yeah,
that's the story that we tell ourselves. And that's why I was like, okay, so when we're talking about like the leadership part of it, because you had the experience in the HR.
Yes,
like,
I do.
I'm gonna guess, and not just like, it's not really a guess, but I'm assuming like for you having that intuition, like you said, to hire that one guy. I mean, like to me, I think like the intuition part needs to matter more than like what a person says on the resume.
Yes, it does. It does. And you know, it's funny because at the end of my time within my within the workplace, I was actually, so in corporate aviation, there were only about 20 women and there were about 210, 220, 230 men, right? So it's a, you know, it's a male dominated environment. And at the end, you know, I was involved with coaching the leadership team and the supervisors and things like that. And I would talk to them about, what is it? Like, what are you feeling? What are you getting from that? You know, step out of your mind for a minute and go with your feeling. What is that? And some of the guys, they were just so good at it, right? So then I would talk to them and I would say, hey, work with Joe, right? Whoever it was,
Yeah.
and talk to them more about feeling it. Like, give them the idea and understanding of what it is that I'm really talking about. Because amazingly enough, especially with men, like, what is feel it? You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, what is that? Right? So, but it was funny because, you know, I talked to many of them in regard to feeling it and intuition. You know, that's an intuitive hit. That's, you know, when you go to that place first, because it takes time, right? You feel it in your heart and then finally it gets up to your brain, you know, 10, 15 seconds later, which, you know, we're thinking, oh, that's only 10 or 15 seconds. That's a long time. You know,
it
nearly
is.
5 seconds, but it's a long time to get up there. So yeah, I really loved it. I loved being able to open them up more to them being able to feel and understand the importance of it.
Well, yeah, because it's very important to be able to have that feeling, because it's kind of like in sales, even it's like person buys on emotion and then they justify with logic.
Yes.
And so it's like when you're in the workplace too, it's like, you know, if something's off, but it's like listening to that. So it's like, how does one stop questioning?
Yes.
You know, like, is this intuition or is it just me thinking that?
Right. Yes. Yeah. And with the intuition piece, it's kind of sneaky, right? Because you're not even realize that you're getting it until it goes to your intellect. So yeah, very funny the way that works, but that's it. It's, what are your emotions telling you? Where is it? Yeah. What are you feeling again? Going back to that piece. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of, it's weird when people, like, in general, have you ever noticed, like, some people, they're just so much on the go, 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 go all the time. And they're like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And it's that I'm guilty because I'm a high achiever myself. But I'm just saying, like, in the corporate, it's like when you're noticing all these people on the go, or just not even in corporate, just in general, people are on the go. And then sometimes I'm just like, where are they going to?
Right.
Where they're in such a hurry. It's
right.
like, how much does this really matter what they're doing?
Right. And many, like you said, many times, Robin, it's not even dealing with their work. I mean, they're so programmed with it that it's like, okay, I got to get to the grocery store. I got to move to the grocery store. I can't look anyone in the eye. I just got to get there, got to buy what I need. And it's like, it's just so ingrained in us. And it's that part of us that says, wait a minute, hold on here. Just be in this energy. Just feel this energy. How am I with it? Right?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, looking at vibrational frequency. Am I in a low vibrational frequency where I'm feeling all these emotions of shame and guilt and anger and because if I'm in that place, if I'm living in that place, that is a low vibrational frequency. That is a real 3D feel, right?
Yeah, it is 100%.
Yeah. And if I can take myself up to the heart, if I can be in that place of love and compassion and peace, well, now I'm in a completely different type of frequency where I'm taking in all of this higher vibration. I'm taking in the 5D energy where, you know, we're moving to, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I was gonna say, like, as you were speaking, I was thinking about that, like, for how, like, when you're doing, like, for me, I've noticed, like, if I'm doing a certain task or doing something that I'm like, I don't know if I'm 100% in alignment with it, I'm like, why is it so easy for me to do certain things? Like for me, I love my kids, so it's like I have never had a problem with kids. Like, even if they weren't my own, I'm like, I love kids. I could talk to them all day. I love their honesty. I love so much about kids. It's like you see that light bulb. Like, I love kids. I
Yeah.
just do. I worked in daycares. So it's like I love that. And then it's like when I'm doing something else, I'm like, this is like painful. Like, you know, like me for website building, like me building websites, it's like painful. I'm like,
Yeah.
we should not let me near a computer. My kids have wondered if I'm okay, and I'm like, no, it's just the computer.
Yeah, I love you. This computer, I'm not living right now. Yes. Yeah, and that's what it is, you know. It's like even being in that space where, so let's just keep talking and I'll see if I can't get it. But yeah, I'm not coming up with the word, so I'll wait a minute.
Oh, that's okay. I have that sometimes, and when I have that, I figure this is just God telling me just shut up.
That's right.
Just say, like, that's
me too. It's like when I can't come up with a word or something like that, it's like, okay, it's not going to pertain to this anyway. And if it does pertain, it'll come back to me.
That's where I'm at too. That's why I said that. I wasn't, I hope you didn't think I was like being rude, but I'm like, that's just the way I've taken it now. I'm just like, God just started telling me, just shut up, just leave it alone.
Just don't even go there.
Think of something else. Yes. But it's still fun because it's like how many people actually recognize that within themselves.
Yeah. And they keep trying to talk through whatever it is, and it's not lining up and it's not making sense. And you've you've absolutely lost the dynamics of the conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I'm like, okay, I've learned at that level. And so one of the things that I was thinking is, how do you know like that intuition is more than just like that gut feeling?
Yeah, it comes down to, there's so much intuitively. So, you know, there's several ways that I work with my clients, and, you know, some of it initially does just kind of come down to, not just come down to, it comes to opening up their tuition, right? Like, what is it that they're getting that they don't even know they're getting, that they're just ignoring constantly? And sometimes it is a gut feeling. Sometimes it's constantly seeing. I remember when I first started to work and play in intuition, a blue light on my right side up here, right? It would just come on a lot. And I remember being in the space of, you know, people talk all the time about having goosebumps, right? It's about it's about being in that space where all of a sudden my breath, when I get to that space, I can feel my breath starting to connect with something higher. It's almost like it's this weaving that's going in and out, right? And I'm connecting with something higher. And there's a difference too between connecting with soul angels, God, and connecting with people that have been here in the past, or pets or something like that. And the reason why I'm doing this right now is because anyone that's been here in the past, or even quite frankly, people that are here and they're still alive, but someone's asking me about them, they come in here. But if it's higher, a higher frequency, I have a window right there. If it's higher frequency, it's almost like they're just pulling me out. You know, they're lining me up and they're coming in there. So for me, it comes in a few different places. So it really is being in that space of being curious and being playful with it, right? Because there's so many ways we acquire our intuition. It's just, it's magical and it's profound. And sometimes it can be, you know, like you're talking to your husband and he says something and you just immediately say, hey, we're going to do that. Or wait, hey, I need that. right? It's that fast. And it's really being in the space of saying, wow, I honor that. That's pretty cool, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, as you were talking, I was thinking that sometimes it can feel like it's scary, like when you hit those moments, and then it's like, or like different things will pop up, and it's like, wow. Like for me, sometimes it almost feels scary, like when I've gotten, like, the more intuitive that I've gotten, the more that I've done on the spiritual side, I'm like, there's so many people that are quick to say, nope, you can't be doing that. Oh, that's witchcraft. Oh, that's this. Oh, it's divination. Oh, it's this and that. And it's like, if you actually read your Bible, there it does state what divination is. And I don't do that stuff.
Right.
But I'm saying, like, there is very much spiritual in there. Like Peter had a vision that came from God, and he put him to sleep during that time.
Yes. And it's really being in this space too, where it's a conversation with God. It's a conversation with Mary Magdalene. It's a conversation, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a conversation with all of these souls that we know that they came here to bless us.
Yes, and not to harm us.
Yes, and not to harm us. So just know, Robin, when you go to fear, that's your fear, right? It's going back to the vibrational frequencies, right? All of a sudden you thought of something and it felt so powerful that it took you to shame, or it took you to anger, or it just pulled you down immediately, and that's your fear showing up, right? So just
it is.
love it and let it be, and just breathe until you can feel your frequencies going back up. And it's all good, because as you're learning this, there will be moments and times where, what was that? Oh my gosh, I felt something in my back. Seriously, especially when you're feeling things in your body. What was that? Or you're seeing something. Because the more you play with intuition, the more that comes alive, right? So initially for me, when I first started playing with this, the first thing that came in for me is I just knew things. I just immediately, these are all the clairs I'm talking about, right? But I'm just talking about them like this. So I just knew things. And that's kind of weird. And then all of a sudden, I started to feel things. So on top of the knowing, which is my strongest, I would feel things. And then from there, I started to see things. So, I could be working with a client. I can be working with quite frankly, I can be working with an organization, a team. And I could be talking, and then all of a sudden something happens. And it won't make any sense at that point in time, but, well, I just saw a bird. Well, I just saw a turtle. I just saw a blue light, and I'll say that. And as the training's moving forward, all of a sudden, an hour and a half in it, that made sense. That bird or that turtle. Oh yeah, that's why. Moving slowly, slowing down, or whatever it is, right? And so that's the way intuition has opened up for me. And I also smell things, but they have to be really strong smelling to start with, like a cigarette or a cigar or geranium or something like that. But so now that's, those are the intuitive things that come in to me. So Robin, just be curious again about, okay, so my strongest thing I get is this. So play with what's going to come in next, because it's fun. It's really fun. And I know that there may be times when, that feeling of happens, and it's okay. It's okay.
Well, no, that's good to know, because it's like, it's nice to talk about this openly, like when another person has had the experience, because when there's other people that have never had the experiences, it's like, kind of look at me like I'm the weird one, and I'm like, no, not so much. Like, if you really tap into it, you really are missing the human part of being human.
Yes.
You're missing it. We're not just flesh, we're soul.
We're soul that has the opportunity to be with that night sky. like really be there, to feel the stars and to feel the planets around us, and to feel what it's like to even, go almost like deep into Mother Earth, right? Going underground and just feeling that energy and the nurturing soil. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, it definitely is. Because I'm like, it's when you go outside, it's like there's the shift. Like everybody knows, like when you go outside, like there's that shift, and everybody's like, well, you go out in nature. Well, going outside is being in nature technically. You're just not getting enough of it. And like depending upon where you live, you may not get enough of it, which is really sad when you don't get enough of it. Like me, I miss back home from Minnesota where I live, of how in the middle of the night I could take and go out in the middle of the night, just walk on the street. Like that's what I would do. Like you walk on the road, the main highway, and you could just do that in the middle of the night because that's something I could do.
Yeah.
And it's like I miss that part of it because it's like you could hear the owls.
Yeah.
You could hear the crickets, you could hear the grasshoppers, you could hear the different, critters that were running around, and hoping you didn't hear any wolves, I'm just saying. But I mean, like, you could hear all of the different creatures that exist, like the frogs. I miss the frogs. For whatever reason, I miss the frogs.
Yeah, for some reason.
Like the sound of the bullfrogs, they just have that,
Yeah, they do. Yeah. But as you're sitting here talking to me, you know what I'm seeing a lot? The fireflies.
Oh, yes.
Remember? Yeah, that was in Indiana, northern Indiana, when I was growing up. The fireflies. Oh my goodness, so beautiful.
I haven't seen any of those for a long time. There's none here where I'm at in South Dakota, but
there's none here either.
It's sad because it's like I miss that. And then, like, if you went by the lake, it was even better because you'd hear the fish.
Yes.
You could hear the fish. You'd hear the fish jump.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh, where's the fish?" Like when the fishermen, like, "Where's the fish?" when they're going fishing. Well, they're out there. They're hopping during the middle of the night. They're practicing.
Out there. I've heard them. Yeah.
Well, yeah. The waves and everything, and it's like people are just to be out there more. What would be like one of the things that, like, for you working in HR as long as you have, what would be like the thing that you wish that more people in corporate brought to their teams, to their people?
In openness, right? In openness, less fear of being, if you don't know something, you don't know something, right? Like all of us have our greatest gifts. Obviously, from talking to you, Robin, one of your greatest gifts is children, babies.
Yes.
Right? Birthing, being in that space. That's one of your gifts. And for me, one of my gifts is intuition, right? So let your gift shine. And vulnerability. That's the word I was trying to think of. Sorry. Being more vulnerable, like being in the space where you can say, oh guys, I'm not good at this. Like I'm a 5%er on this. So who can help me? Like really being curious to ask those questions, having less meetings and more real conversations. I think corporations have a tendency to say, all right, we're going to have this quick 15-minute meeting. Then I've got to go to a 30-minute meeting. And then, oh gosh, that meeting is going to be 45 minutes. And so you're running literally from place to place all day. And what would it look like if a team member came into your office and you had that real conversation, right? What would it look like if you made it a point every 2 weeks or once a month, being a leader within your organization, to sit down with a person and say, how are you? How's your family? Is there any way we can help and support you? Because those things matter.
Yeah, they do 100%.
Yeah, that's our life. That's our humanness, right? And so it really is having those very open and deep conversations. It's in the place of allowing whoever it is to really feel vulnerable and being able to share what it is that they feel like they're not good enough at. Because do you remember how earlier in this conversation you were saying, oh my gosh, I would always be so worried about the way I was doing things, and then I realized people never noticed anyway?
Yeah.
That's
60.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about right now. Have those
Yeah.
conversations. Be in that energy of being curious and being helpful, and because guess what? Your customers come because of your team.
That is
That's why they
true.
come. Yeah, that's why they come. They come because of the people. They love the people. You're in a good space, right?
Yeah. That's very true. So I know, like, one of the things, like, when I've talked to people like in corporate, like to try to get into their companies to help them, it's been, well, like, one of the things that I literally had someone sit there and say, well, you can hypnotize them all to do what we want them to do. And I'm like, no, that's not how it works.
No.
But my thing is that they were more, it seemed like the different companies that I've gone into that I've wanted to work with, it's like they look at that piece as like it's a bad thing. And then it's like at the same time, it's, well, we want our people to come to work. We don't care about their personal life. That's what one of the people had told me. And I was like, and you're in charge of this place? It's like,
Right.
It
Right.
doesn't work that way.
No, it does not work that way. And if you really want a winning organization,
Yeah.
it cannot work that way, right? It cannot. And it's one of those areas where knowing and understanding how much your team matters and how much their family matters, and even doing things where the family is involved. And again, you know, being able to have a one-on-one conversation, and it may be once a month, it may be once a quarter, but where do you feel like you're doing great? And where do you feel like you need help? And that could include work, or that could include personal, because it's all together.
That's one of the things that I was thinking too, you know, like in some of the things that I've been involved in just in the local area. Minnesota is different on how they do their stuff compared to like South Dakota for where I'm located at. But it's like, even in that, it's like one person, for me, it was something that's stayed in my mind that I was actually appalled at. It's a public place that having this HR meeting that they wanted people to join this organization for people with HR. I'm not going to say the name, but it was one of those people that sit there and said that there was a person in their company that was like a cancer to everybody. And I was like, that came from the HR's mouth. And I was like, this is a public place. You want people to join your organization, but then yet you sit there and say that about somebody in your organization, calling them a cancer. And it's like, one, I don't think this person, I knew for a fact the moment that she had said it, I was like, she's calling that in for herself to happen to her. And then two, I was like, no wonder why that business has a revolving door.
Right.
So I'm wondering if like that's the thing that people just don't really understand, is that
right.
they're leaving out the human too much. It's just like they're robots.
Yes. And that goes both ways. So it's really interesting, right? One way is you leave out the human too much. And the other way is you really do have the wrong hire in your organization, and it's hard to let them go, right? So I remember when working in corporate, I'm going to go back to the aviation company, there was a gentleman there, and he was just an amazing aircraft maintenance technician, and he worked on just the engine part, right? And it's hard to find qualified people that do that, really hard. And he had, it was not good. It was not good. And I remember talking to the leader of that department saying, I think you need to let this person go. And the leader said, I can't do it. Cannot do it. Will not do it. So, okay. 2 months later, I think you need to let this person go. It feels really cancerous. Nope, can't do it. Will not do it. Forget it. Again, I think you need to let this person go. So finally, the president, the vice president of this department said, okay, we'll do it. And you know what? We did it. And everyone in that department, first of all, they were all so happy and they shined. It's like we didn't even miss him. So, you know, you have to be really mindful. Like, which way it's going. Is it me? Like, is it the HR person? And you can tell. You can tell.
And I'm pretty sure it was the HR person in this case, because I'm like, just the way that they were saying stuff, and I was like, and I know that they've got a revolving door.
Right.
And it's like, that's one of the things that I'm like, I'm looking at these different companies and I'm like, do you trust the things that you see on Indeed, as an example? Do you trust what they say, about the organization, the employees that have worked there? And at the same time, it's like one of those, well, it's kind of like Amazon, like the reviews.
Yes.
Like you're buying something on Amazon, you get a couple of them that are like, oh, this product's no good. Yeah. But then it's like when you start seeing a whole bunch that are like, then I'm like, do you trust that, or do you trust?
Yeah. What you do in that instance, and I know it's time consuming, but to find the right not position for yourself, but to find the right companies to go into, you look at what the employees or team members are saying, and you also look at what the customers are saying or the clients are saying, because both of those both sides will say the same thing. They will.
That's what I've noticed. Like, they line up. It's really, really weird, but it's like, it's almost like then the company sits there and says that there's nothing wrong. They don't need to have like it's not like the productivity increase, but it's like they don't need to take and have it where they're giving their people more time to do things or to talk to their people, or like what I said about like, well, that's my employee's problem if they've got this and that going on. They need to be at work. And it's like, but that shows up everywhere else. Like,
shows up on the side. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, to me, it's like one of the things, like, I have the heart for like the parents, because I'm like, when you're in an organization and if you've got something going on at home, you can't just leave your stuff that's going on at home with your kid and then go to work. And then like, but the corporations are like, I want my people there. I want them to do this. I want them to do that.
Right.
But then if they've got something happen at home, but they don't know how to leave it at home.
Right.
Like, that's your problem right there. It's because they weren't taught how to leave it at home. And it's like, they don't have time to develop themselves. Most people don't make the time for it. So it's like I understand like corporate's thing on it, because like that's the first thing they cut is training. Yes. And what is your take on that? Like, when that's the very first thing that they tend to cut?
Yes, they're wrong, right? Because again, that training and that team enlightenment can make just a huge difference in growth. Now, I do understand sometimes cutting some training, because some companies may go really overboard with it. And what's so important about training is once it's complete, there has to be someone, whether we're following up with that company, I do that a lot, we're following up with that organization, or there's someone inside the organization that's making sure that what they learn is, talked about, is staying on the forefront. Because typically we learn something and within a week we've forgotten about it, right? So there's that side of it. And also on the other side of it, it's like, they do have a tendency to cut training quickly. And it's having them understand the importance of what the training really does for the team member. And it's not only about what they're learning, it's about the company investing in them. It's about them having maybe time away from the office. It's about them having interesting conversations on the breaks, during lunch, all these things. And it's about giving them the opportunity to just be somewhere and be able to stretch and breathe and do something different. That really matters. So for where you're at, what I would do is I would suggest that you come up with a plan, like within your organization. How will hypnosis not only help the employee, the team member, their families, how will it also help the business? Like, really dive deep, like go really deep in how it would help the business, right?
I know a lot of ways it would help them be seen, heard, and valued, because you're talking to them, you're helping them take and really realize like, hey, there's this other part of me. There's something else going on. Like when you got like an employee's mad at you.
Yes.
It's not you necessarily that they're mad at. They're mad about something else going on at home that you don't know about because you don't ask.
Right.
But then they sit there and they blow up and they get mad. And it's like, well, there's your employee going out the door.
Right.
Because you didn't ask enough questions. I'm just saying, like, that's what I've heard. I've heard enough from other people that I'm just like,
yeah, that's very true. And being in that space, like in regard to hypnosis training or something like that, of really being able to give the employer direct conversation about the difference that it will make is huge, just huge. So so really, work in that and be in the energy of that. And you already know how you help your clients anyway. So what would it look like? Yeah.
Well, my thing is, I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, can a person really sell peace? Because I'm like, that's the number one thing, like all my clients have said that they've gotten is like the inner peace.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, they get that. And then they get that alignment, that communication with themselves. They get that logic, reasoning, willpower. Like, I want to do this, but then they get the subconscious that's like, hey, wait a minute. We're not doing this. We're not interested in this. Because if we do this, then we're going to have to change. Do you know what this means? Like that they're out of alignment with each other. That's really the problem.
That is the problem. And again, that's where this open communication comes in. That's where understanding that we are all human and that these people need to be talked to. That's when, I'll tell you right now, if a company or a corporation has a bad HR department, they're done. They're done.
So would you say that it's more like the HR that is like the key part of the ingredients for what makes the company better or worse? It's the HR. It's not necessarily like the supervisors or like the entry level employees. I guess I don't know all of the ladders or the steps in corporate.
I would say that yes, because HR is the core of what builds the team, right? So for me, I was always so fortunate in having very strong leaders. And as I said, the last place I worked at, he was the owner, he was the CEO, he was the president, and he was just phenomenal. So it had me just ensuring that I'm bringing in, because number one thing that you want to make sure that you're hiring for is the right personality.
Yes, the personality makes a big difference.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not the IQ, it's the EQ. How well can you get along with another person?
Yeah, it is. It's the EQ. And it's really looking and saying, okay, what is the right person that we need to bring in here? And then starting to build on that. So yes, human resources, HR, people relations, whatever you want to call it, it's imperative that they are strong at what they do. And that if they are going up to a manager and saying, or a leader and saying, I understand that this person, this resume has everything you want on it, it's not going to work, right? And having faith in that whole team, all of that synergy to say, oh, okay. I mean, because at that point in time, it's hard to say, okay, when you're down 5 people in this one, So it really is ensuring that all of that is together. And even for those of us that do teach and work with, energy and hypnosis and me with my intuition, a lot of times it's not even so much about talking to the owner, it's about talking to that human resource department, because they're the ones that should be able to sit back and say, how would this training make a difference in our environment? Not that, not the same company, not the company that does the exact same thing we do 200 miles away. In our environment, would this work? And how would it work? And what could we take with us? And how could I ensure that I am continuing to keep this alive after Robin leaves, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing that I think about too, is like one of the things that I've noticed, it's kind of funny. I'm glad that you had said that, because it's like, so like when I've dated guys before,
Yeah.
before my husband. It's like things are going good. Like it's like they took care of themselves, they looked better, and then as soon as we broke up, they went downhill.
Yes.
And then I'm like, I look back at the town where I grew up in. It's going good, but now I look at how Minnesota's gone downhill. And I'm like, it's kind of funny. It's like where I'm at, things are going good, things are working, but then as soon as I leave, it goes downhill.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe that's just like a sign or something that like I need to be like, I've been trying to figure this out, and it's like it's almost like a sign like that's where I'm supposed to be, like where things
No,
I haven't figured it out quite yet. Does that make any sense?
it makes sense, and energy draws energy, right? So when I say that, when you are starting to increase your
the vibrational
frequency, right? That's when you guys will sit down and talk and say, hey, I think we need to move here, or hey, I think we need to, do this, or whatever it is. So energy is attracting energy, and so you leaving, of course, the frequency is going to shift, the frequency is going to change, and that's what that's all about. Yeah,
because I think it's just kind of funny, because it's like I'd seen something today, because it's like I've wanted to work in this area where I live now, and it's like back in 2023 I noticed their problems, and then today I got a notice about like how they're having issues, and I'm like, all the exact same issues I pointed out to their faces in their leadership meeting back in 2023, and I'm like, oh, so now they've realized that this is a real problem. And it's like, they should have noticed it back then. But then I'm thinking to myself, you know what, maybe just for fun, I should go to these same places and be like, hey, you remember back in 2023 when I was talking to you about XYZ?
Yeah.
Now I noticed you guys are aware that you guys have the problem. So It's almost like they were unaware of it. I shared it with them. They saw it, and it was like, your guys are aware of it now.
Or they
but
saw
it's like it took longer.
Yeah. Or they saw it and didn't really want to see it, and now it's so much worse. But yes, I would absolutely suggest that you reach out to whoever it was that you initially spoke to, and just whether it's an email, whether it's, I don't know if you go in there, if that person would have
I've gone to meetings.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yes, I would. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, because it's
yeah.
Well, that's what I'm just like wondering, because it's like I've noticed like I said, like these different things that are just happening like energetically like around me, because I don't have just like the hypnosis, like that's just the tool that I use, but because I've got a lot of tools in my toolbox, I swear. It's kind of like I asked my husband the one day, why do you need so many wrenches? It's like, what's the point of all of them? He's like, well, this one does this and that. And I'm like, okay, you already lost me.
Yeah, I got it. I understand.
I sometimes feel like my brain is like the exact same way with all the different things that I've done. But at the same time, it's like when a person goes back to those places, it's like almost like energetically, like you can't figure out like why you have to go do certain things. Like one thing that bothers me is like I'll be driving somewhere, it doesn't matter where it is. I'll be driving, and then all of a sudden I get like this, oh, you should stop there. And it's like, but I don't want to stop there going on. But like, you just like,
Yes. Energetically, And sometimes it can just be something very small, and sometimes it can be something that all of a sudden is completely changing course for you, right? So yeah, it's very cool. It's very beautiful.
So I'm just like thinking of this, like so you've mentioned, like before about the multi-dimensional intuition. What is that? And how can someone recognize that in their own life?
Right. So that's being in a space where you understand, so we talked about all the clairs earlier, right? Like, knowing, feeling, all of that. And you also understand more or less the different ways that intuition comes into you. So is it telepathy? Is it mediumship? Like, how are you getting this information? But then even more than that, now that we're in sort of like this new space, is really being the energy, right? It's not I feel like before I used to witness the energy, right? Like witness what would come into me. Even in intuitive readings, I would be witnessing and sharing that with someone. And now it's not that way. It's much more conversational, and it's being in the place where I just be. I allow myself to really feel the frequencies above me and below me, and it just all comes together. It's almost like I start from this 0 point and it just all comes in, and then it really starts flowing out. And I know that I'm not explaining this very well right now in this moment, because we don't have all that much time, but it's really understanding how much our humanness and our spirit are together now. More than ever, our human side and our spiritual side are truly one. And instead of us, like years ago, I used to feel like I was learning from spirit, but now what I'm witnessing is spirit is also learning from me, if that makes any sense, right? And when I say that, it's the God goddess, it's the God that's in all of us now that is just truly connecting us to everything up there. Everything up there.
There's been that awakening that's been happening, and I'm like, thank you. I'm like, any day, Jesus. Any day. Any day he wants to come back, I'm ready.
Yeah, it's a very strong awakening, and it's bringing us to, our knees. And it's even one of the reasons why we see and feel so much of a divide right now, right? Because we're moving into something that is truly beautiful. I don't know when, but we're moving into something that's truly beautiful, and it is this awakening where our heart and our soul are truly combined and doing a human spiritual dance right here, right now. Yeah.
I think that's what's really going on. I think that's why a lot of people are speaking out more about being burnt out in corporate. And like, there's even a lot of people that are speaking out like perimenopause all of a sudden. And I'm like, why are some of these things that have been hidden, pushed down now coming to light? That's one of the things that I've been like really wondering. I'm like, where's all this coming from? It's like, isn't this something that people have known about for years? Or are they just now catching it?
Right. It's even the emotional side of life, right? Like, there's so many more suicides, and just being with that, being with the energy of that, and knowing that really there's no good or bad. It just is what it is. And it's how are we going to show up for that?
Yeah. And then what are we going to learn from it and how to apply it?
Yeah. What are we going to learn from it? Because we'll learn something. We always do.
Yeah. That's one of the things I've experienced. It's like earlier I've told somebody, like, I learned more ways how to fail than I have to succeed. But as soon as I figure out how to succeed, at least I've learned a bunch of ways of how not to do something again.
That's right.
So this way, when I do got the success that I'm looking for, like I already consider myself successful. But it's like the money aspect of it, it's like when I have it, it's like then I'll have everything because I already know all the ways of not to do something.
Yes.
It's like, I swear, like that's the whole purpose of this constant learning and learning and learning. I'm like, eventually you get it. You understand it.
Yes. Yes, you do.
It's kind of like every time I've had a baby, I'm like, it's kind of funny because it's like I've only spent 12 years in a row pregnant, like having 11 children and like 8 are living. But it's like, it's kind of funny because it's like every time I go in, like they've changed something different in how they do it. And I'm like, why are you guys changing it now to this? Why are you changing it now to this? And it's like, wow,
crazy,
like 1 year after another, you guys switch stuff?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So much is changing.
But it's like they're realizing more and more all the time of like how much like things that they used to do matters.
Right.
It's kind of like right now I see in Minnesota specifically where people are upset because, well, now there's going to be a bunch of people taking advantage of the paid MLF or FMLA or something like that. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people are upset about it, and I'm like, because it's supposed to be, like, my understanding is supposed to be mostly like maternity leave, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but it's like something like that should have been paid years ago, but now it's going to get paid. And it's just like,
Yeah.
but if we had been thinking of these things, we wouldn't have the women that are leaving the workforce at such a rapid rate.
Right.
Like,
Right.
it wouldn't have existed.
Right. It's just like now with an FMLA, there's family leave where the husband can take off too. It used to
Yeah.
be, you know, I remember my first son, it was 4 weeks off, right? And then they changed it to 6 weeks, and you know, so they keep increasing that time, and it's important. I mean, I know many women that they've decided to stay home as long as they can, and then the husband stays home. And so now you've got 4 or 5, 6 months with the baby that you wouldn't have had before. So yeah, it's good. It's all good as far as I'm concerned.
Well, yeah, so am I, because I'm like, I've talked to people that have lived overseas, like in France or Germany, and they're like, I can't remember exactly what country it is, but one of them gives a full year.
A full year?
And I'm like, and it's all paid.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, if people would do that, that's why people go back. Like, to me, I think the number one thing why people leave an organization isn't so much like the communication part, but it's because they're not seen, heard, or valued. Like, I really think that's really what it is. And yes, the cover up is the communication part, because they're, like what we said throughout, and like what you've said, is they're not asking questions. Like, how are you doing? Why are we having all these meetings? Like, really, do you really need another meeting? We've already like beat this thing to a dead horse, and it's still like, we're still bringing it up.
What did we accomplish with that? Like, what did we accomplish? Yeah. So I understand. Yeah. It's been wonderful talking to you.
Well, yeah, same here. I've really enjoyed it a lot too. So before we close the show today, what is the best way for our audience to get in contact with you?
Oh, yes. My website is intuitivestrategies.com. And people can also reach me directly, Kathy at intuitivestrategies.com. And then I'm on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and all those places as well. But if you go to my website, you'll see all the places on there, all the links. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm super excited, because I'm like, this is one of those that I'm just like, this was very, very helpful.
Yeah.
You know, like, especially if persons like me, they're like, how does this like work?
Right.
To connect that gap. So
yeah.
I just want to remind everybody to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Healing for the Soul podcast, and keep coming back for more episodes. Thank you, everyone, for your time, your energy, while listening to today's episode of Healing for the Soul podcast.
Quack, quack. Bye-bye. Wow, you got it.